What is a presidential election? Chapter 3. Ready, set, start campaigning. In recent years, candidates have been entering the presidential race earlier and earlier. It wasn't always like this. In January 1960, Democratic Senator John F. Kennedy announced that he would run for president. The election was that November, only 10 months away. In the 2020 election, Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts announced that she was running in February 2019, almost 21 months before Election Day. Picking a platform. The candidates' ideas and opinions on important issues are known as their platforms. Rank the following issues 1 to 6 in order of their importance to you. If any aren't important to you, put an X on the box by those issues. Better education, protection of the environment, free college tuition, good affordable medical care, lower taxes, cutting costs for government programs, equal rights and protections for all Americans. So you can stop this, pause this, and you guys can choose from 1 to 6 what you think is the most important. This is a great opportunity to discuss it with your family. See if your ideas are the same as your family's ideas. For more than 150 years, the Democrats and Republicans have been the two major political parties in the United States. During this time, all presidents have belonged to one of those parties. For instance, Barack Obama was Democratic senior senator from Illinois, and George W. Bush was the Republican governor of Texas before they were elected to the highest office in the nation. Before he held political office, Donald Trump had once been a Democrat. He thought that party's ideas best matched his own. However, by the time he decided in 2015 to run for president, he felt his ideas and opinions were most in line with those of the Republican Party. So he ran as a Republican. Many Americans don't consider themselves either a Democrat or a Republican. Instead, in every election, they vote based on which candidate they like best. These voters are often referred to as independents. This picture is the governor of Texas, George W. Bush, with supporters during his successful 2000 presidential election and campaign. Okay, this is another one. You can stop and pause the video and have conversation. Which way do you lean? Answer yes or no. I believe more tax money should be spent on education and improving schools. I believe in lower taxes so people will have more money in their pocket. I think there should be strict laws making sure businesses can't pollute the environment. I believe the government should stay out of people's business as much as possible. I believe that government should make affordable health care available to all Americans. I believe that more money needs to be spent on our military. I believe in higher taxes for wealthy people and big businesses to pay for government-sponsored programs like school lunch programs for children whose families don't have much money. I don't believe in letting immigrants into our country. I believe it's the government's responsibility to help see that all Americans have a home, a job, and a decent education. If I own a business, the government has no right telling me how to run it. If you answered yes to more of the odd number questions, so those are the dark gray ones, you agree with many ideas held by Democrats. If you answered yes to more of the even numbered questions, those are the white ones, you fall more on the Republican side, or maybe you fall somewhere in between. Many Americans do. Ask grown-up family members if they would be willing to answer these questions. Find out what kind of government they think is best. The Republican Party is symbolized by an elephant. During Abraham Lincoln's 1860 campaign, a drawing of an elephant appeared in a newspaper article about him. Lincoln was a Republican, and the elephant was meant to convey strength. The Democratic Party is symbolized by a donkey. This goes back to Andrew Jackson's 1828 campaign. Jackson's opponents called him a donkey because of his stubborn ways. But Jackson didn't care. In fact, he put the donkey on his campaign posters. So let's recap what we learned. Over 150 years, we've had Democrats and Republicans. And on that quiz, remember, the odd numbers are for the Democrats and the even numbers are for the Republicans. Independent. So sometimes our views don't align with the Democrats and sometimes our views don't align with the Republicans. So there's another party called the Independent Party. And you just vote for the best candidate. The elephant came about with Abraham Lincoln, and it was in a news article in 1860 that meant to convey strength. The donkey was Andrew Jackson in 1828. A campaign called him a donkey because he was stubborn. So those are some things that we know about the campaign and how to run and the parties. So there were 2 different quizzes in here that you should stop and do. Pause the video and talk about it with your family, maybe some friends. It'll be interesting. Bye, guys.